Rapid Power is a company from Queensland who makes alternators right here in Australia, and they have great products. There's, for example, the Redback series, which is just your normal run-of-the-mill alternator, except for it's not, because it's got a very high output of 250 amps. But apart from that, it's just a standard alternator. And then they've got their water-cooled alternators, which they have become very popular for. The water-cooled alternators they make come in two variations. There's a 150 amp unit and there's a 200 amp unit. But to install it, you have to connect to the cooling system of your engine. So what you do is there's two hoses coming out of the alternator and they hook into the heater supply for the inside of the vehicle. It's always described very well how to do it, but we have never been really big fans of these alternators because you have to tap into the cooling system of your engine, which I've never heard about those alternators fail, but in general it's a catastrophic fault for your engine and your trip if something goes wrong. But recently Rapid Power has come up with these alternators, which they call their Endura series. These alternators will give you the best of both worlds. They are pretty much a combination of the Redback series and the water-cooled alternator series. They have got brushless technology, and what that means is that the brushes that you get in the Redback series are not existing in this unit. But you do not need a fully sealed unit to make it really reliable. What usually happens when alternators fail is that you go through a few mud puddles, you get dirt, leaves, sticks, whatever might come through in that mud, especially the sand that is floating in the mud. It goes into the alternator, it gets stuck in the alternator brushes, the brushes get stuck, they open contact to the rotor, and your charging stops. The alternator is still perfectly fine, but it still doesn't charge anymore. In the water-cooled alternators, Rapid Power has gone around the problem by fully sealing the alternator so dirt cannot get into the alternator. While in the Redback series, it still could. The better part of the Redback series is it's open and you can pump 250 amps out of that because you haven't got any issues with the cooling. So with the fully sealed unit, they have only managed to get 200 amps. So this now, the Endura series, the brushless ones, they can actually put out 250 amps. They got 150 amp units as well, but generally we just use the 250 amp units, and they are the perfect combination of both worlds. Because you don't have to tap into your cooling system, which I find is great because I do not want to put something onto my cooling system of my engine if I do not have to. But I want a really reliable alternator. And this alternator, because it doesn't have brushes, can be submerged, you can get mud through it, it doesn't matter. Yes, eventually you might get a little bit of corrosion, but that will take a very long time to build up, unless you work in a salt mine. So these are our new go-to alternators. Check them out on the website. Another good part about these is they're almost $1,000 cheaper than the water-cooled units. So in my opinion, this is the alternator to install if you do want to upgrade your alternator. If you got any more questions, you can book a consultation through our website or just read up a little bit more on these on the internet or on our website. Thank you very much for watching and see you for the next video.